Very good morning to all of you. We have started chapter S block elements, and in that chapter we have talked about how elements are classified into different blocks in periodic table. S block, P block, D block and F block elements. Then we have talked about S block elements. I've told you about S block elements that there are two groups assigned to S block elements. Group 1 or first A, which is called alkali matters. Group 2 or second A, which is called alkaline earth matters. Hydrogen is not included in alkali matters, although it's a member of group 1 or first A. But we study it differently because it resembles with matters as well as non-matters. That's why it is placed separately in the periodic table. And in alkali matters, we have completed general physical properties of group 1 of first A. Now the next one is your chemical properties or chemical reactions of alkali matters. Remember, alkali matters have the largest atomic size in any period because these are the first member of any period. Due to large atomic size, their ionization potential is very low. Electrons can be removed very easily, or less energy is required for the removal of the electron. And for the same reason, the alkali matters are treated as most electropositive elements of the periodic table. And they are highly reactive also because they can lose electron easily. And if they are losing electron to any other atom, it means they are reacting with the other atom and forming molecule or the compound. So alkali matters are highly electropositive, they are highly metallic in nature and they are highly reactive in nature. Now how the alkali matters react? Number one is reaction with hydrogen. Alkali matters reacts with hydrogen and form metallic hydrides. These hydrides are ionic in nature. It means losing and gaining of electron is there when alkali matters are combining with hydrogen. M is having complete positive charge, H is having complete negative charge, means the bond between metal and hydrogen is ionic in nature. The ionic character of hydrides decreases as we move down in a group, because as we move down in a group, atomic size increases. There will be more tendency to lose electron. And one of the important property exhibited by metallic hydrides is they act as reducing agent. These are the substances which can be used for the reduction of other substance. Whenever hydride is there, when any compound, then all such compounds can be act as reducing agents. So here we can say that all metallic hydrides will act as reducing agent. Now if we talk about the reducing character, for group first A elements or group 1 elements, as we move down in a group, reducing character of metallic hydride will increase. Means H minus can be donated to other substance easily. Reason is very simple. As we move down, the size of the cation, that is from alkali matter, increases. So force of attraction between M plus ion and H minus ion decreases. So removal of H minus ion is easy. Then we have second reaction with halogens. Halogens towards extreme right. Most non-metallic elements, most electronegative elements, alkali metals, extreme left, most metallic elements, most electropositive elements. So remember one thing, electropositive elements have more affinity for electronegative elements. So definitely there will be chemical reaction. A metal always reacts with a non-metal. So alkali metals reacts with halogens and form metallic halides. Earlier it was hydride, now it is halide. One atom from alkali metals react with one atom of halogen. As a result, we obtain MX type halide. 2Na reacts with Cl2 to form 2NaCl. Na is M, Cl is X. X is the representation for non-metal. And here X is a Cl. So they form MX type halide. Reason is very simple. Alkali metals have one valence electron. Halogens have 7 electrons in their valence shell. Halogens requires 1 electron for the completion of the octet. Alkali metal, by losing their 1 electron, will acquire nearest noble gas electronic configuration. Halogens, by gaining 1 electron, will acquire nearest noble gas electronic configuration, and both will attain stability. Alkali metal will form cation, while halogen will form anion. M plus is stable, it is having noble gas electronic configuration. X minus is also stable because it is also having noble gas electronic configuration. Then we have next one, reaction with oxygen. These metals are highly reactive towards oxygen. That's why we need a proper storage system. A proper storage is required. If they expose to air, they will react with oxygen present in the air and form metallic oxides. They will not remain in pure state. So if we want to maintain their pure state, then these should be placed in kerosene oil, an inert medium. Kerosene oil is preventing the contact of alkali metals with the atmospheric oxygen. Lithium is placed in paraffin wax because it is lighter and floats on kerosene. So surface will be exposed to air. That's why lithium is placed in paraffin wax. So they are highly reactive towards oxygen. If they are exposed to air, they will react with oxygen and form metallic oxides with formula N2O. So lithium will form Li2O, sodium will form Na2O, etc. Sodium can also form superoxide. Sodium can also form peroxide Na2O2. And potassium can also form superoxide KO2. So in alkali metals, potassium is the only metal which can form superoxide also. And sodium can form peroxide also. All will form oxides with formula M2O, but sodium can form peroxide also and potassium can form superoxide also. So here we are concerned about metallic oxides only, not peroxides or superoxides. These oxides when made to react with water, metallic oxide react with water and forms a metallic hydroxide having formula MOH, like LiOH, NaOH, AOH. These metallic hydroxides or metal hydroxides are basic in nature. They act as a strong base, and the strong bases formed are called alkali. From here, as they are forming strong bases, alkali, that's why they have got this name, alkali metals. LiOH is not a strong base, but the rest all are strong bases. If we talk about the basic character for the hydroxide, as we move down in the group, basic character increases or tendency to lose OH minus ion increases. Suppose, or here important, if a compound can release OH minus ions easily, if a compound can furnish OH minus ions easily, then it will act as a strong base. And on what factors it depends? Simply attraction between M plus ion and OH minus ion. M plus ion, it can be Na plus, K plus, CS plus, etc. etc. So as we move down in a group, basic character increases or tendency to lose OH minus ion increases. Reason is very simple. As we move down in a group, size of metallic ion increases. So if the size increases, the force of attraction between M plus ion and OH minus ion will decrease. As a result of which OH minus ion can be released easily. So if a comparison is made between KOH and NaOH, potassium hydroxide is a strong base than sodium hydroxide. If a comparison is made between RbOH, that is rubidium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide, then rubidium hydroxide is more basic than potassium hydroxide. And if a comparison is made between CSOH, that is cesium hydroxide, and rubidium hydroxide, then cesium hydroxide will be more basic than rubidium hydroxide. We will not talk about francium hydroxide because francium is a radioactive element or a metal. Reason is simple. As we move down in a group, size of the metallic ion increases. Due to increase in size, force of attraction decreases between M plus and OH minus, so release of OH minus ion is easy. Now the next one is your solutions of alkali metals in ammonia. When alkali metals are added to ammonia, alkali metals get dissolved in ammonia. See what happens when we add sugar to water. Sugar gets dissolved in water. We get the sugar solution. What happens when common salt is added to water? Common salt gets dissolved in water and we get common salt solution or salt solution. In the same manner, alkali metals get dissolved in ammonia. When alkali metal is added to ammonia, it gets dissolved, and as a result of which we will obtain solution of alkali metals in ammonia. So here we can say that alkali metals are soluble in ammonia. Now, the solutions of alkali metals in ammonia have blue color, point 1, and second one, the solutions are conducting in nature. The solution exhibits electrical conductivity. What's the reason? Just see here how this reacts. Metal atom reacts with X plus Y molecules of ammonia. What happens? Metallic atom loses one electron and forms M plus ion. This M plus ion gets surrounded by X molecules of ammonia. We get M plus and H3X, which is called ammoniated cation. and the electron released from metallic atom will be surrounded by Y molecules of ammonia, so it will be E minus NH3Y and we will obtain ammoniated anion. So metal, when added to ammonia, we will get ammoniated cation, M plus ion, which is surrounded by ammonia molecules. And ammoniated electron which is surrounded by ammonia molecules. As cations and anions are there, positive and negative charge is there in the solution. Presence of positive and negative charge is responsible for electrical conductivity of alkali metal solution in ammonia. And this ammoniated anion is responsible for blue color of the solution. So that's all in chemical properties of alkali metals. Thank you and have a nice day.